Well, it's been 3 days since the new emergency call number was launched to synchronize all other different call numbers for emergencies. The police, the fire service, the ambulance service, and the National Disaster Management Organization. In case of any emergency, all you need to do is to just dial the number 112, and it's toll-free. But officials at the command center are lamenting 90% of calls received so far or coming through just seem to be prank calls. Komla Adom spent some time at the center and brings us the situation.
It's a typical day out here at the command center of the emergency services. I'm going to go in and have an experience of what a typical day looks like here in the life of workers here and how they carry out the activities, especially on the back of the launch of the synchronized 112 emergency number, which caters for all the emergency services, be it the police, be it the ambulance service, be it the fire service, or even the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO. So I see a number of officials here right now. Who are they and what do they do specifically?
They are all call takers for the emergency center.
Okay.
Currently, we have 6 call taking consoles,
okay,
which the calls come through. And after that, we have 2 dispatches, where after taking the call, we dispatch it through the console there.
Okay. Tell us, on the average daily, how many calls do you receive here?
Average, we can take more than 1,000 calls per day.
Okay, and out of this 1,000, how many of them are calls that require genuine assistance?
Percentage-wise, 10%.
10%?
Yes, sir.
It means the other 90%
are prank callers.
Okay, so when you say prank callers, exactly what do you mean?
There are people who call not for an emergency, just to make funds and then also abuse the emergency system. Mami, number na me send you mobile money why?
7540.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
321.
As in line we won. Yeah, Fred na the year off near the why? Oh, she didn't take the name of the caller, the contact number of the caller, the location of the caller, and then ask a few questions, the purpose for the call.
Okay.
From there, we look at a closer ambulance station, then we give them all these details that we take from the caller. We dispatch them to go for the case.
Okay.
Any call for any of the emergency centers comes either at ambulance command center, the police command center, the NADMO, or the fire service. So as soon as the call comes to you and you take the details, if it's about ambulance service, quickly they send us the information through the dispatcher.
Okay.
And if it comes to ambulance and it's about the police, we also send the information to the police through the dispatcher.
Meanwhile, former President John Dramani Mahama has described the fanfare accompanying the distribution of the ambulances as needless. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on Tuesday handed over the 307 ambulances to the various constituencies. Government was criticized for not distributing these ambulances even at the time when the country was in dire need of these facilities. But government explained it needed to put the ambulances in good shape before handing them over. Former President Mahama, however, says the fanfare was unnecessary.
It's not the first time ambulances have been given. In 2012-2013, we brought 161 ambulances. We did not make posters and say we're distributing ambulances and so on and so forth. You know, yes, you have brought ambulances, fine. We brought ambulances, we brought fire engines. Almost every district got a fire engine. I didn't go and stand and make posters that I was distributing fire engines. You know, there are many other things that we did without, I mean, it's government's obligation to do it. We gave the police more than 1,000 vehicles, the highest number of vehicles the police have ever had in the history of Ghana. Do you remember that I went and stood and touted it to high heaven? These are things that government must do, but we must get our priorities right.
Members of Parliament are urging the cyber unit of the Ghana Police Service and other agencies to do more to clamp down on the theft of their identities on social media. They're expressing concern fraudsters currently are stealing their identities to use these identities in defrauding people in the name of creating jobs for them. Well, listen to North Tom Member of Parliament, Kobna Woyoma, deliver a statement on the floor on the subject, which Ningo Prampra Member of Parliament, Sam George, also supports.
In recent times, Mr. Speaker, many Ghanaians, mostly the vulnerable and the needy, who are desperately looking for employment and other educational support, are falling victims to these schemes by these syndicates of fraudsters who have created fake Facebook and social media accounts in the names of public officers, especially members of Parliament and other prominent people in society. These fraudsters, Mr. Speaker, download profiles, images, and other information of members of Parliament and other prominent personalities to make the page appear credible and believable. In some instances, it's almost impossible to tell which of the multiple accounts in the name of the members of Parliament is a credible official account. The worst of all, Mr. Speaker, these fraudsters are taking advantage of the situation, including the use of mobile money transfer system, to dupe unsuspecting victims of various sums of money. I am one whose profile and images have been used to dupe people, and so are other MPs.
Mr. Speaker, a random search of members of Parliament currently in the chamber on Facebook will reveal multiple accounts held and created by fraudsters in our name. Mr. Speaker, just 3 months ago, I had to officially report to Facebook on my own to shut down 4 fake accounts in my name. I have received complaints of the majority leader and the minority leader, people reaching out to me and saying that they had been asked to pay monies to them for job employment opportunities. And then I tell them, if maybe the majority leader may have opportunities for job, the minority leader, he won't even have any. But these are real challenges that exist, that occur with our names. And Mr. Speaker, great steps need to be taken.
Whereas the minority leader has been Minister for Employment before. I don't know when the majority leader became in charge of employment in this country.
Very well, Mr. Speaker.
We will proceed.
And so, Mr. Speaker, I believe that we must take a 4-pronged approach to resolving this matter. First and foremost, there's a major role that the National Information Technology Agency needs to play proactively, NITA, for members of Parliament and most ministers of state and government appointees. Once you are in public office, NITA must be able to take steps to protect the accounts, the official accounts of members of Parliament and ministers of state.
In other news, scrap dealers and distributors of electronic waste will in the coming months need permits to operate. This will also mean these dealers could be sanctioned if they're found operating without these permits. This comes on the back of calls by some environmentalists for a more sustainable and inclusive e-waste management system that brings together informal and formal groups operating within the same space. Agbogloshi, which is currently the world's largest electronic waste dump site, produces in excess of some 250,000 tons of e-waste every year. Speaking at an e-waste news conference organized by GIZ in collaboration with the Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry, Special Aide to the Minister, Oliver Boache, revealed that government intends to effectively regulate e-waste in Ghana by the end of 2020. We'll bring you more in this report.
Every day, 100 tons of European electronic waste are burned in the Agbogloshi landfill. Fumes of mercury, arsenic and lead darken the sky and poison the air every day. Burns, back problems, and infected wounds are common ailments among the workers. The most affected are the over 80,000 residents living at Agbogbloshie, with many suffering from respiratory problems brought on by the hazardous working environment and toxic air pollution. 3 years ago, the government of Ghana, in collaboration with the government of the Federal Republic of Germany, launched the environmentally sound disposal and recycling of the electronic waste project in 2016. On Thursday, a ceremony was held to celebrate the achievement and launch the second phase of the project. Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Professor Frimpong Boateng, revealed the 3-year initiative has been beneficial to the country.
As part of this project, the German government is building a holding center, a national holding center, and there's land at the Atomic Energy Commission for that holding center. And then the National Recycling Center, which will be built by Ghanaians, will happen at Agbogbloshie, and the construction will start pretty soon.
Special aid to the minister, Oliver Boakye, also reiterated government's commitment to properly regulate the operations of electronic waste dealers.
Throughout that value chain, those who are producing electronic equipment, those who are importing them, those who are distributing them, those who are consuming them, those who are disposing of them, those who are collecting them, everybody, those who are transporting them, everybody is going to be identified and permitted. You'll be given a permit. If you don't have the permit and you engage in that activity, the law says that sanctions must be applied to you. Now, how these are going to be enforced is a challenge, but they are working on it, as he said. And by the end of this year, we'll see actual sanctions being applied and people conforming to these regulations.
Head of the e-waste program at GIZ, Marcus Spitzbart, encouraged government to look out for recycling options that retain funds for the state and its internal development.
Ghana really has a big opportunities because you have as well a lot of former recycling companies, waste management companies who have a lot of knowledge as well. So what we have to bring in is as well joint ventures with recycling companies from abroad, with local companies, to look into recycling processes, which can increase the revenues for the country, not to export the revenues, but to leave it here in the country.
The second phase of the e-waste program is set to run from February 2020 till January 2022 and will seek to raise e-waste standards amongst both the formal and informal sector of workers. PSA Nanaya Osafo for JoyNews.
Well, before we go, let's turn our attention to an educational story. And it's about pupils of the Apiedu Roman Catholic Primary School, which is in the Ashanti region, and who no longer have to study under trees and an old dilapidated classroom. Well, it follows the inauguration of a 3-unit classroom block with other facilities built by the Oforikrom Municipal Assembly. Inshira FM's Oforia Manfo has more in this report.
The old mud structure built by the community years ago had developed cracks posing danger to life and property. Headmistress Georgina Ananeboahin says the new block ends years of congestion amid persistent complaint to authorities.
Formerly, we were having a lot of congestion because we combined all the children, KG1 and KG2 in one classroom. But now we have room for each class or grade level, KG1, KG2 plus office and the store. So it has eased congestion and everything. Parents and everybody is here. And we are very happy for what we are seeing today. And we thank God so much for His grace.
Is there any other challenge that you want to have?
Yes, the next challenge is about our old building. The veranda has been peeled off. So we need, it needs to be rehabilitated, or we have to cast it again so that it will be easy for us to work on it. And then in the classroom too, some of the classrooms are not also good in shape.
Children who were combined in a classroom amidst heat from the congested classroom can now enjoy a well-ventilated classroom block. Oforikrom Municipal Chief Executive Gloria Timagambra called on school authorities to ensure maintenance culture.
The teachers should take good care of the facility because that has been our problem. Going around looking at the schools that need renovation, it is because they are not reporting, they are not telling us what is going on. If we are to maintain the buildings regularly, I don't think it will come to the state that we are finding them in. So I am just pleading with them to take good care of the facility. And instead of thanking me, appreciating what we've done, I'm just pleading that they will transfer those appreciation into votes come December 7, 2024. Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo to continue his government so that they can get more. For Nana to do more for Appeal. Thank you.
Reporting for Joy News, Obidishie Ofori-Amanfo.
Well, that's it. The latest news headlines we have. But we have a couple of the newspapers right here. But again, let's tell you, today we're tackling our, of course, relationship issues. And we're asking the question, why do people stay in relationships, whether it's a courtship or marriage, when they know the other partner is unfaithful, cheating? Because we've had a number of letters from many of you indicating that they've had trust broken as a result of all these philandering by one of their partners. But ultimately, they decided to stay on for varied reasons. Some because of the money, some also because the person is a nice person generally. And, you know, the one that has always permeated is because the sex was good. But also, we decided to find out, beyond all these individual stories, what can we do to make sure that we bring the issues relatedly? So we decided to go to one of those courts, the divorce courts that have got some of the best channels on YouTube, and we brought a video to you. We'll again replay this video, and then we will go for a break. When we come back, we'll look at the newspapers, discuss that, and then tell you how 1 year on from the Ayawaso West Wogon debacle, we're moving on to make sure we have great lessons learned for election 2020.